There isn't a live lesson this week because it's Easter Sunday. However, I'm just about to start playing a tournament, so I plan to record live commentary. Okay, we're just about to get started. It's a $10 buy-in single table tournament. I was hoping a few more people would turn up, but unfortunately 3 people have come, so it might be a bit quick. As always, I'll show you all the cards I get dealt and all the hands I play, but I might miss out a few of the other hands if they don't involve me, just to cut down on recording length. So this is the first hand. Now I've got 5-8, and actually I've been dealt a straight off flop. I think it's best to play quite strongly. He raised pre-flop, and his flop best suggests he's got something. Ideally he'd have a large pair, and then I don't think he'd be able to get away. Of course 8-9 or flush is now beating me, but I think it's worth a risk. It's very unlikely from the way he's been playing that he's got me beaten. I'm going to type in good game. Just to try and entice this call. Anyhow. So I've doubled up. I'm not sure whether typing that in made any difference, but sometimes it can help. Okay, well, we're now chip leaders, so we could afford to play this quite slowly. On the other hand, we might like to bully Webex out a bit. So going back to the first hand, one of the things I knew was from playing this same tournament a couple of weeks ago, our Piper is a fellow pro, so the first thing is the $10 isn't going to mean much to him. So he's likely to call bigger bets, but also simply it's the first hand of a tournament, and as I've said in previous commentaries, people can do, well, play very strongly. They might decide they want to either get a big chip lead or try and boss the table. So often people do overplay the first hand. The second thing is, of course, as I keep saying, the reason I could call with 5-8 is when the blinds are small and the stacks are so big. Well, there's a lot of potential for calling with kind of marginal hands, because if you hit a straight or 2 pair, something like that, there's so much which you can possibly gain, because the stacks are just so deep. So that's why you can afford to call with those hands. So I'm not sure how I'm going to play this. I don't normally bully people too much, but on the other hand, I've got a 2-1 chip lead. Also, it looks like it's not going to be the longest game. I guess what is probably a good idea is just to kind of put in a few bets, because especially in the early stage of these tournaments, you're not going to get big pots because of the size of the blinds unless you do make some pre-flop raises. So I think if I start betting, say, to 70 a few times, it might give me a chance to build up, because all I really need is a couple of big hands. I could have completely beaten him. Well, that kind of play didn't quite work. I tried to bluff on the flop when the ace came down, and even though I made a pair on the river, I don't really want to be giving him too many chips early on. It was a strong bet by him. So that didn't quite work, but I think definitely putting in a few pre-flop bets is a good idea, and especially just trying to irk him a bit, make myself look quite loose, well, quite aggressive perhaps. Might entice him to kind of get involved in a few bigger pots. So here I'm going to raise with ace queen. I've missed, but I don't want to bet too little so he raises back at me, so I'll try and force him to have a hand if he wants to continue. So that won't work. Jack king, well that's, as I say, that's quite often a better hand to hold than an ace, because if the ace comes down you can represent it. So in effect I have 3 cards to hit for jack king and ace, and hopefully, as what's happened with jacks come down, it's going to be less expected than having an ace. So I'm going to play this strongly as I did in the first hand. Unfortunately he's folded, but hopefully that'll be good stead. As I said, I just really need him to catch. I just need to catch a good hand just once and get a big pot. And this could almost be over. I'm going to call here just on a bluff. It's only because I've got so many chips, but if he doesn't bet, hopefully I can represent something. I think if I could represent the ace, I'd have him beaten, and of course there's a straight for him to worry about. And so pot size bet one for me. So I'm going to keep raising with this hand. It's two strong cards, and as I say, I just want to hit something and take him down. I've missed, and if you remember last time we bet on the flop, I missed. So I've called his bet, and I've hit the straight. I'm going to check here, and now see if I can get him to call a bet. Hopefully he's got the ace, and he's called. We could just find out what he's got actually. So I know this offers a hand history feature, so I should be able to see. Anyway, back to this. I've hit two pairs. I'm getting all the cards. There's a flush draw, so hopefully I can get him most of his chips in if he's just got a club and he's willing to call. But he's folded. So he's down to on 600 chips, so I should be able to get rid of him quite soon. It's always good to remember that most sites allow you to see the muck cards of your opponent if they go to a showdown. So even though he didn't show the table, a lot of the time you can click on the hand histories and find out what they folded or what they were forced to fold or muck. So I should be able to close this game out quite quickly. As I say, we're still on 20-40 blind, so to get any action I'm probably best to put in a few raises pre-flop. But on the other hand, I only need one good hand, so I can afford to wait a bit. As is often the case, sometimes it's actually better just to, if you have an ace, just to play it, because as I said earlier, when you raise, people, whether they think you have an ace or not, it's the thing they're going to give you most credit for. It's actually kind of raising, you're just kind of giving them a good read in your hand. If you do hold an ace, and they're unlikely to come give you much action unless they've hit better themselves. So things like 10 queen are normally better, well, almost better hands to have, because they're not quite so predictable. Well, we're just winning a few pots here, and we've got them down to 4-4-0. I'm still trying to find out this hand history of the queen 10, and probably shouldn't have bet there. I think I played that a bit too strong. I should have let him try and hit something, because heads up situation, top pair is normally a winning hand. As long as you don't go crazy with it, it's a very strong hand. If you remember, you're 1 in 3 to kind of hit a pair on the flop. So if you do have top pair, you're doing particularly well. There's no need really to bluff any of this hand. I've got such a big chip lead, and he's only got 10 times big blind left, just under. Okay, we've hit 2 pair. I'm gonna trap and hopefully, because I let him raise, that's gonna kind of help commit him a bit. And he's gone all in, and we've got to have this one. He's unlucky to have just hit 2 pair, but we've won. Sorry, not really much of a tournament, because it was all over a bit quickly.